everyone. Welcome back. This is week 2, lesson 2 in the series on mental performance. I'm Coach M. I'm going to talk to you this week about developing a growth mindset through positive self talk. And I have a phrase I want you to kind of remember when you think about this type of technique for developing a growth mindset. Okay, you want to talk to yourself, not listen to yourself. And so, any of you who may have been working on mindfulness or who have sort of a good sense of like when you're being negative about yourself or what negative self talk is, you may find there's times when you like want to do something and you have a goal and you kind of talk yourself out of it. And you're like, oh, I'll do it later. I don't want to do this. Something else is more important, or I better do this or that. Okay, that's all super unhelpful. And basically, you're just listening to yourself talk to you. Like, it's not really doing anything to help you, and you don't have to listen to yourself talk to yourself anymore. What you want to do is sort of document, journal, or raise your awareness of patterns of negative self-talk when it comes to certain behaviors, and then strategize talk that you can tell yourself to counteract those feelings. So I'll give you a couple that I find really work for me, but again, like, you're talking to yourself, so you have to know what really reaches you. So this takes a little bit of like self-exploration. A little bit of journaling every week would be good. If you keep like a little notebook in your bag or handy, and you're just like, oh, I feel like working out today, and then like all this stuff comes in your head, and then you don't. What happened there? Like, go back and look at it and try to document and find some of these patterns of where you talk yourself out of things. Once you've identified that, you can find good things to talk yourself into things or to counter that talk. So I'll tell you a couple of mine. So I'm definitely a perfectionist. I really like things to be just so and perfect. And so one thing I found when I feel like I feel this resistance, I'm like, I don't want to start it. I don't want to do it because it can't be perfect. Like, it won't be perfect. Or like, I'm like, I'm not happy with this because it won't be perfect. That's coming from inside me, and I don't want to listen to it. So instead, I talk to myself, and what I say is, it's perfect enough. So my mind is saying, I don't want to get started. It won't be perfect. And then I tell my mind, it's perfect enough. And that works for me to kind of like let me get started on things. I feel that way sometimes. Like, there's certain things that I love to do. So like, I love doing hit workouts, and I really love rowing, and I love to lift weights, but I do not love biking, and I don't like running. And so sometimes I get that, like, oh, I don't want to run because I'm not gonna run fast. I'm not gonna run fast. I'm gonna run slow. So I just tell myself the same type of thing. I run fast enough. And it just kind of like it kind of silences your inner negative talk that is just kind of wanting to demotivate you from doing it because you feel the internal resistance. So another thing that's most common is sort of this like black and white, all or nothing thinking. And so we might we might have a goal, like a nutritional goal, and sometimes we'll get off track, or maybe we'll have a period where we're like, we're not following the plan we set for ourselves, and we go through this thing in our head where we're like, oh, whatever, I'll start on Monday. Okay, or like, it doesn't matter, I'll just start later. Okay, so sometimes when I have that come up, sometimes I say to myself, no, I'm starting now. And I don't know why, but that works really good for me. So you'll have to find the things that work for you. But one thing for me is when I'm having this sort of like delay or procrastination coming from within, I talk to myself and say, no, we're starting now. It's good enough, or just kind of finding these things. But these things won't come to you, and sometimes you can read resources on positive self-talk, and you'll find a phrase you like, add it to your resource list, add it to your list of things to say. But for the most part, because you are the expert on yourself, you need to spend time noticing your own internal patterns, raising your awareness of the things you say to yourself, that you're talking yourself out of things you want to do, and finding that perfect thing to like just tell yourself. So give that a try this week. See if you come up with anything. I'd love to see your comments. I'm sure you'll come up with amazing positive self-talk. So you can post it in the comments, or send me a line and post it on Facebook, and I'll post some that I find useful. But give that a try this week, and I will see you next week for the third lesson. Bye.